Why, hello there, dear old fine viewers of mine. I'm KBRICKS, coming at you in full tactical gear. These little fellas on my PJs deflect bullets. Look at how much I can lie, only a few seconds into the video. I even got a microphone that isn't plugged in and not helping with the audio at all. So, we are here to talk about the new LEGO Death Star that has been leaked, not this one. And I'm actually here with a special guest, Jedi Bob. Hello, Jedi Bob? Yo, he's here for real. Alright guys, like I said, we're going to be talking about the LEGO Death Star today, and here's Jedi Bob. Wow guys, he's literally real, he's right here. He is right here. Peak. Yeah, peak. Absolute peak, guys. We got Jedi Bob on the show, absolutely legendary. So, the Death Star is pretty cool, but I've seen a lot of complaints about it, and it's kind of interesting to see how the LEGO community handles this, as it is a UCS set, but it is only a slice of the actual Death Star, and for that price, you know what I mean? Jedi Bob, what have you done?
I used the Force!
Don't use the Force for evil, bro!
It's a LEGO set, goddammit.
Okay, bro. Seems like our guess is already getting out of hand with that
It's just a LEGO set, dude.
Alright, bro. First guess, I guess I'll just have to deal with it. But anyways, yeah, the set is just a sliver of the actual Death Star, and a lot of people have been calling it the Death Pancake, and using that one image of the Star Wars Angry Birds toy, which is actually pretty funny. It is interesting how people handle that, because it is huge. That's the thing. It's not like they're shrinking down the set because of that. And I don't think it's lazy that they're doing that. I don't know why people are calling it more overpriced than it would be if it's a sphere. It's literally the same amount of pieces. You may not like the design, but it doesn't make it more overpriced. But I think it's pretty cool, and we got a crap ton of rooms. First up, we just have the display plaque. It's pretty cool. We got a couple minifigures, and apparently I've heard some people call it the Death Star plans. I'm pretty sure it might be, but I don't know. We also got the trash compactor, which is pretty cool to get. I mean, it's pretty standard. And then we have the hangar, which is really freaking awesome. I love the stars in the back, and I love just how huge that room is with the Imperial shuttle. It's really, it's really an excellent room. Jedi Bob, what's your opinions on this?
It's very good. It's very well made. The rooms are in such good positions, and I see the point of where if they had to do a full Death Star like they did the other sets, then they would have curved rooms, and they wouldn't be able to fit very many LEGO minifigures in those rooms because of the curvature. Very
fair point. Look at the old Death Stars. They are really cool sets, so I'm not even going to diss on them, but I will say if we were doing a $1,000 set at this scale, there would be so many wonky proportions to have to do, because if you look, there's really a lot cut out of it. Luckily, the old LEGO style really saves that and really makes it a cool set, but if we're talking about UCS quality, that set would look kind of ugly in UCS quality. And there's the approach of also doing fully paneled. That also adds a crap ton of pieces. This is just the best way I think LEGO could have done it, even though it's kind of controversial. We also have a control room, which is pretty cool. I'm wondering if those are stickers or prints. Hopefully they're prints, but I can't really get my full hopes up because they have been doing a lot of stickers for those. And we also have a hallway with Han Solo and some stormtroopers, which is really cool. Hopefully, once again, those lights are prints and not stickers. It looks like we have a crap ton of them, so I'm pretty sure the lights are at least prints, just because of how much we have of them, and I don't think they would do stickers for that. Then we also have the room here with them getting caught, and just in general, I mean, all of these rooms just look so pristine. They're so beautiful, and they're really, really cool detail. I just love every single room here. Hopefully this elevator that we see here works, because it's such a huge part of the set, so I just really hope to see that thing working, because that would be really awesome to see, and I would expect that from a $1,000 LEGO set. It seems like it does because there's a door, but maybe it's just a door hatch that opened. We also have the actual Death Star Super Laser, which actually has some of the interior mechanics, which is a really, really cool way to display that. We haven't seen that on the previous ones, with the interior mechanics, and that's just beautiful. I was really hoping to see something like that in this build, and I'm very happy that they delivered with that. It is a beautiful Death Star Super Laser, genuinely beautiful. Jedi Bob, your opinions, since I've been talking.
The Super Laser, I really like it. especially how it's done on the inside.
I really just like some of the hallways and stuff. I know that's kind of a weird take, but the hallways are just beautiful and really just add some life to it.
Pristine.
Yeah, it just adds the smoothness of the Death Star itself. And we got like a lot of the rooms, the original like Lego Death Stars with a lot more detail, plus a couple new ones. So I'm not really complaining. Like these are just huge versions of those rooms, really just fully enclosed rather than just being some weird cut off triangle that smooths inwards. Like they really were able to put their attention to detail. The Death Star gunner room is really freaking awesome. And just there's just so many like huge open rooms, which I just truly love, even if it's like empty and stuff. Like that's just, I mean, that's the Death Star that we're talking about. That is truly what the Death Star is, and I love how they're not only just doing the key moments, but also just a few of those open hallways to really show that like open, smooth feel of the Death Star itself. Your opinions on that actually occupying a lot of the set?
Well, I have heard of some comments being with the dish of the Death Star, of the studs being visible, like the back bottom of the plates being visible. If you don't want that, just get a regular Death Star toy.
Exactly, because it's Lego. Seeing the anti-studs on the back of that adds the personality. Also, I think it makes it more accurate, to be fair, because the greebling, the actual Death Star, like, super laser plate has a lot more detail than, like, the rest of the Death Star, which is smooth. So this provides that exact contrast of the smooth Death Star plus the, like, greebling, kind of in the movie, of the freaking dish plate. Like, it's literally more movie accurate because of that. The throne room is interesting because it is a really cool throne room. So the throne room is quite interesting to see because they have this throne room diorama set that exists already. And so the interesting thing about that to see is it's very similar, which makes sense. Both of them are fairly accurate, so of course they're going to be built similarly. But this was in probably development. I mean, this is a huge Lego Death Star. This has probably been years in the making. And this set released like a couple years ago, I think. So they were probably knowing of this, and I think that might have been a money tactic by Lego, to be entirely honest. They are a company and they want to make money, so that's probably what happened here. I'm not going to defend them on that. I think they really released this, and then knowing that people would buy because it's the best throne, it's like a really detailed throne room, has a beautiful window here, just for it to be released in a $1,000 set, so they're basically buying it twice, and they got another 80 bucks out of me. I did buy it on sale though, 80 bucks, so Lego got 20 less bucks from me. Wow, guys, I'm really doing positive work for the Lego community with this one. What are your opinions on the similarity, just in general, to a lot of the Death Star rooms to the diorama versions?
The throne room, I think it's my favorite room out of the entire Death Star, actually. Because it's very iconic. I mean, I've seen the movies. I've lived the movies, as I am Jedi Bob. And overall, it's very well done.
Yeah, the Jedi Bob scene where he was fighting Death Vader. Oh my
Death
god!
Death Vader's my favorite villain.
Yep,
He
Death
was
Vader
such a fun guy to
from
fight.
Star Wars. Death Vader from Star Wars, guys.
Star Wars.
Yep. Lot of shopping deals happened that day.
Yep.
And it was as if many stores cried out in pain from the loss of money. So we got the meeting room as well, which is kind of cool, though it seems kind of crammed in my opinion, compared to some of the other rooms. But it is still cool to see. I mean, it's just a bunch of chairs around a circle. I can't talk about this forever, guys, but it is a pretty cool room. It's necessary. We have the meditation chamber. Once again, something that was a diorama, so I really do think that Lego is like redoing some of these rooms. Similarly, I think that's why they released them earlier, to be entirely honest. Though it is cool that some people got it in a more affordable thing, because I don't know if this set's going to be selling well, simply because so many people have been complaining about it. But there's also the like escape room thing, or like where like Luke and Leia were swinging from that. And that's really cool to see, because the original versions were built, like I said, into that like triangular segment that would like go up like that, so it's a really weird angle to work with to try and do this. But this is like in the center of the build, so we have this very enclosed structure that really just shows the openness of the room, and it's really beautiful. And we also have this area here, which is by the protocol droid, and it's interesting to see because I believe this is where we are going to see the hot tub stormtrooper thing. I think that thing, since it has that circle, is going to open up, and we're going to see the hot tub stormtrooper in that. Because where is he? Where's the thing? And it makes sense too, because that isn't officially in the actual Death Star. To be a nerd right here, And I don't think Lego would want to show that because a lot of people would annoyingly probably complain about that, which would be annoying because it's like, where's your whimsy, dude? Where's your whimsy? It's Lego. Like, same with the anti-studs.
Actually, it's not lore accurate.
We got M&R Productions here, guys. And he's gonna buy 3. He's gonna buy 3 of the Death Star after complaining.
Actually, I'm gonna buy the set 3 times, and you guys should not get it.
Yep. There's not much I can really extra talk about for this interior, even though it's a huge set, because a lot of these rooms are so open, but I'm fine with that. It almost looks like a mock, to be entirely fair, just with how open some of these rooms are and just how they're built.
But I like that, because it gives authenticity.
Yeah, I do very much like that, but that is just the vibe I'm getting, because it's such an open set, and that's, I think, one of the reasons why a lot of people are complaining, because it's such an open build, so it almost looks small and doesn't seem like it has much because of that, and looks more boring.
Yeah, because especially on most sets, they're very closed builds, and like on modulars too. I guess that's the point, but like Lego doesn't usually do open sets.
Yeah, like these are such huge rooms that are a bit more basic, but it is truly beautiful, and I don't think people are really realizing the size of this. Like if you look at Luke in the original set here, and then Luke in this new set, you can get a really good size comparison because this set is going to be absolutely huge. Now it's time to talk about the minifigures. Alright, so now let's talk about the minifigures. There's a leaked number of 38 minifigures, and I have to say the lineup's actually pretty good. A lot of people have been complaining about the minifigures. I actually really like them. First, before we actually talk about complaints or stuff like that, let's just list off all the minifigures here. So we got Farm Boy Luke, Stormtrooper Luke, Jedi Luke, Princess Leia, Han Solo, Stormtrooper Han, Chewbacca, Ben Kenobi, C-3PO, R2-D2, Grand Moff Tarkin, Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine, Sim Elu, Wolf Yularen, Admiral Mahdi, General Taggy. Those are definitely names I've slaughtered. Director Krennic, Galen Erso, RA-7, 6 Stormtroopers, 2 Imperial Gunners, 2 Imperial Technicians, 2 Death Star Troopers, 2 Shuttle Pilots, 2 Red Guards, R3-T6, and a Hot Tub Stormtrooper. Jedi Bob, what is your opinions on the minifigure lineup?
Hot Tub Stormtrooper has got to be the best one out of all of them.
Alright, and do you have like any other opinions? You can see some of the minifigures here. What do you think?
It's a good lineup, definitely.
Are there any minifigures that aren't in here that you'd like to see?
Probably not.
Now let's discuss minifigure quality and also stuff like that. So,
Family Guy Stormtroopers.
yep, we got the Family Guy Stormtroopers there. Pretty goofy. I really prefer, and Jedi Bob really prefers, the old Stormtrooper helmets. A lot of people have been complaining about dual molding, which is kind of true. I guess that's one of the complaints that I can agree with. I'm not expecting fully printed dual molding, all that stuff like that, because that being said, it almost feels like it's not Lego at that point. I want it to be somewhat cartoonish. On top of that, though, we're getting a pretty big set, and I know people are saying, hey, let's get the best quality minifigures for this, but that would drive up the price even more, if we're going to be fair. But I would want to see dual molding on the Admiral legs and the dual molded C-3PO leg. Those two I can agree with. Beyond that, though, I think the minifigure quality is really good, and I guess personally I'd want to see like another astromech droid, but that's a personal thing. I really like the astromechs, but that really is like the least of the issue there. We got the pretty obscure ones like the Imperial Dignitary and stuff, and the Hot Tub Stormtrooper. I mean, like we got some really good minifigures, and there's not really anything that I feel like we're missing with this. It's really a perfect minifigure lineup. Like I said, a lot of people have been complaining about the minifigures there, saying that they should be like minifigure series quality, because those are $5 and you get a really good quality minifigure in those. But they're talking about it like it's a full set. That's $5 per minifigure. If we were to apply this to this, then that would mean that this set has $190 in minifigures. That would be $190 in minifigures if they are all CMF quality. So I really don't understand that point, because, I mean, they're just saying, hey, you get this for cheap. Yeah, but you'll only get that. You don't get a whole, like, Death Star with it. So, like, it's a really weird argument, I'd say. And so that's the thing. Like, I'm fine with criticisms, but this is just a general thing within the LEGO community. I feel like a lot of the time when they complain, they don't think about it at first. They just don't think about it. And the worst part about that is, like, it almost seems like I'm trying to shut down all criticisms of Lego and, like, trying to defend, like, a huge multi-billion-dollar company. That is the last thing I'm going to do. That is the last thing I'm going to fully do in a video. But some of these complaints are just downright stupid, and I low-key have to make fun of them. Jedi Bob, what are your opinions?
The complaints are sometimes valid in certain situations, but honestly, yeah, it's pretty funny with the way that they're criticizing and not actually thinking about how good of a value the set still is.
Yeah, what do you think about the actual, like, minifigure quality and stuff from the set?
Well,
Like,
it's definitely very good.
yeah,
I'm not. I was never expecting to have all minifigures be dual molded.
Yeah, it's like standard quality. I mean, there was a few that I wish would have been like dual molded on some parts, but like it's a really good quality minifigure lineup, and it's just beautiful to see this all in one image and imagine that being just in one set, dude.
And
Like
that's still a lot of minifigures.
I mean, it's 38 minifigures. That's like downright insane.
Like, I'm not a large collector. I don't even collect. I just get Lego sets if it looks cool. And 38 minifigures is definitely a huge upgrade in size.
And on top of that, I feel like the Lego community is too minifigure focused sometimes. Minifigures are just the characters in the set. Do not buy the set for the minifigures. Do not buy a $1,000 set for the minifigures. I swear there's going to be people doing that. Why? Genuinely, why, dude?
If you want more minifigures, buy the battle packs.
Buy the minifigures off of like Bricklink or something. If you really want more minifigures. If you really want minifigures to be your main purpose of Lego collecting. This was something I discovered when the minifigures were just first getting leaked, but not the entire set. People were already saying the set was going to be horrible when it was just the minifigures. If your minifigure quality is the make or break on the set, that's kind of stupid. Because the thing is, right? Minifigure number is different. Like, you get a crap ton of minifigures in this set. If you only got like 3 minifigures, I could understand how that would be a make or break for the set, because you don't have enough to populate the Death Star, and that's just a huge thing to have so many weird empty rooms like that. But we get 38 minifigures, and they're all like decent base quality. You can really understand what character they are. So when it's beyond that, and when you're talking about dual molding being a make or break for the set, then that's a really weird thing. Because that's just the thing about Lego becoming such a huge collectible, is that people are just so concerned about minifigure quality and do not care about the sets anymore. And that really frustrates me as a Lego fan, because either you get something where they'll push a set just for the minifigures, which they've been doing a lot more recently, where they'll do a set that's like crappy, overpriced, but then like put like really good minifigures in it just to like kind of do that, because that's been something they've been doing recently. That's what it leads to. It leads to Lego realizing this and trying to push out scams just because of good minifigures. So, I don't know. I think this is kind of all I got on the minifigures. I mean, pretty cool minifigures, just really cool to see just such a legendary lineup in a Lego set. Jedi Bob, any last opinions?
Not really. The minifigures are just really well placed, and it's a good amount, especially
Beautiful selection.
Yeah, it's a great selection. I think, bottom line, minifigures are just amazing in general for what you're getting. It's really good. Not all of them are dual molded, which is entirely fine. Like, I'd be good if even just less than a quarter were dual molded, which they probably are. I don't know.
I think there's only one minifigure with dual molded legs. Hot Tub Stormtrooper. No, all the minifigures have been leaked. So it's not a so far type situation. It's very much worth it. I mean, I'm still buying it. If the trade-off for the minifigures is a better overall quality set, which is probably what's happening, that's the thing. Because the reason is, too, even if the minifigures don't cost that much extra, sometimes complaints are valid, but you also got to realize about how these feedback affects Lego themselves. Because Lego might look at this and then see, hey, these people are talking about they want this dual molding. It's a $1,000 set, they want dual molding on that. Which is entirely valid, but then think about that. What if they just make a later set that has a huge price like that, but they give all the minifigures dual molding CMF quality and jack it up another $200? Are we really wanting that? Are we wanting a set to be $200 more just for better minifigures? We have such a legend. We have all the characters. That's really all that matters to me, is that we have the minifigures of the characters. Beyond that, I just don't give a on if the minifigures are dual molded a bunch or not. I can see the criticisms, but I feel like people are criticizing the minifigures way too much. We have a couple of minifigures with arm printing, like Galen Urso, the guy who designed the Earth Star? Oh my god, what the hell is the Earth Star? Nah.
The Art Star. No way.
No way, guys.
The new set, it's the Art Star. Jedi Bob approved.
Jedi Bob. There's 38 Jedi Bob minifigures.
Yes,
Army
that's
building.
perfect.
Buying it just for the minifigures, guys. It's $20,000. It costs you an arm and a leg. We're pulling a Full Metal Alchemist.
And none of them are dual wielded.
Yep.
Absolutely none of them are
Lego
dual
fans, when
wielded.
they realize these legs aren't dual molded.
Guys, Jedi Bob's legs are dual molded. Don't worry.
No, the they aren't. It's Jedi Bob is literally on screen right now. He's right here, and he's trying to lie to you guys.
Nah, I'm right here. I'm the one with the lightsaber.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh. Get out of here with that.
Deflected.
I parried that, bro.
Bro deflected that.
Anyways,
The minifigures are amazing.
yeah.
They
minifigures
need
are
no
amazing.
changes.
That went wildly off topic. Anyways, let's talk about the opinions people have on the set and our opinions on it, because once again, a lot of criticisms are valid, some of them aren't. So let's get right into that. Alright guys, time for the most riveting content of all time. I'm going to see what the community doesn't like about the Death Star by reading hate comments on Reddit. Riveting
all
stuff,
places.
guys. Of all places. Gone to the depths, bro. Dug too greedily and too deep. Anyways, the first comment here says, this idea would have made more sense as a bunch of individually packaged dioramas that could be pieced together. That actually, I can kind of agree with that, to be fair. Because, like, people could get their original, like, actual slices of the Death Star, if they want, like, specific scenes, and then piece it together. At the end of the day, though, LEGO wants to make money. A lot of people will buy the Death Star and pay more money because it's one giant package for rooms that they don't want. I personally want all the rooms, but I think this is a valid comment. I don't think LEGO would do that, though. People are saying that about Rivendell as well. I do agree with that they should have sold those as multiple sets that could connect up. I mean, that would make sense. $1,000 and no gonk droid. That
Why? We need the gonk droid, man.
I got a gonk droid, luckily. Looks like a great Stormtrooper battle pack for the price. Peak.
38 stormtroopers, no way.
Especially since we've had the Tantive hallway, which I wouldn't say is a good Stormtrooper battle pack because it's still costly. But, like, are there 4,000 1x1s on the back? Dude. You can see where the 9,000 pieces goes. Like, I genuinely don't get that difference. Like, if you look at the originals, that was able to fit 4,000 pieces. You can see how much, like, extra pieces per, like, the size we're doing on this and how much bigger it is. It makes sense. I appreciate the LEGO community taking such drastic measures to save me $1,000. That's the thing. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it. Nobody's forcing you to buy it. Where is the hot tub? Is it safe? Is it alright? I hope so. The hot tub better be there. It better not just be a random LEGO minifigure they included. I bet they have the hot tub there. Like I said, it's probably hidden. I don't see how this is worth $1,000. I'd pick this up for $500 max. Dude. Even if you do believe like all Legos are overpriced, this is standard Lego pricing. Now if you're talking about the Juggernaut, that's an insane example. Obviously that's overpriced for Lego standards. But if you put on a Lego standards thinking, that is not overpriced. Now it is a lot of money, but a lot of people are saying it's overpriced. And to be fair, you can think it's overpriced. It might be overpriced, but all Lego sets are priced to a similar ratio of that. Like that is what you get from $1,000 worth of Lego, you know?
If the UCS Death Star launched like 6 years back, maybe 500 would be a more acceptable thing.
And I don't think it would be $500 6 years back. If we're talking about this size, it would probably be like $800 6 years. So I think this is about the same size, and it didn't cost me $1,000. I'll find this so you can see the image from this up here.
In front of Jedi Bob.
So you can see the image for this right up here. That's not Legos. Of course it didn't cost you $1,000. They didn't have to individually mold pieces. And it's even flatter than the actual build. Bro, not loving the repetitiveness here. Bro, it's an elevator. Do you want it to be a different elevator on each floor? Bro. Not loving the repetitiveness, and it's an elevator. Of course it's going to be repetitive. Oh my god, bro. Do you say that when you enter a hotel? You go up and you're like, this elevator looks exactly the same as the one on floor 1. Not paying $500 for this horrible thing. Oh. This isn't even an original comment. Why are like so many of these comments just like basic hating? I'm not buying this. Who cares? Who cares if you're not buying this? It's $1,000. Of course, a lot of people aren't going to buy it.
You didn't even have to comment. Like,
if you're going to bring up a criticism, make it original.
I bet you there's like 60 comments saying, I'm not getting this.
Another thing I want to say, just in general, about these, since I've just scrolled through a lot of comments and there's not too much new stuff. I understand there's a lot of criticisms, but I'm not going to go through all of them. But what I want to say, right, is that would you really prefer this to be a sphere? Because it's fine if you do, but you're going to have to cut out so many of the rooms and make them so much worse because of that. Because at the end of the day, this is probably the best because the interior of the Death Star is like really detailed. And so you get the actual cool parts of the exterior, that being a circle kind of thing, and then also the freaking super laser. You get that. That's the good stuff about the exterior. Do you really want a gray sphere? Do you really want a gray sphere fully paneled off for $1,000? Okay. You would probably pay even less for that. I'm going to be honest, because the set would also have to be smaller because of that. Because it would have to be fully like 3 dimensions at the same measurement.
So a set as the whole sphere Death Star, it would look cool, but you gotta agree that the inside looks way better.
Yeah.
Like a gray sphere is cool because it's the Death Star. Like if you know, you know.
This is a freaking circle. It's the Death Star easily, but the interior has to be the main focus of a Death Star set. And I gotta put my foot down on that. The interior is the main focus because holy crap, dude. Because I know if this thing released and it was a fully paneled off gray sphere like these people apparently want, they would be saying, big gray ball, I'm not spending $1,000 on that. Saying the same exact things, not calling it a cheese wheel, calling it like a soccer ball or something like that. Like the death ball or something. So, like, that's the thing about a lot of these criticisms. You can have criticisms and say the set's overpriced, you can say all that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, there's a lot of people saying the exact same thing as you. If you say the set's overpriced, if you say that the set's just a death disc, stuff like that, you're not being original by saying that. So it's really annoying to see these comments just absolutely fill to the brim of people saying the exact same opinions and not bringing up new criticisms. Because it's okay to criticize multi-billion companies, guys. But holy crap, give good criticisms. Dude, like that's the thing. That's the thing. I'm not trying to fully defend LEGO on this. But y'all.
Well, you don't even have to defend LEGO on this at all. You just have to say that, like...
These are just bad criticisms.
Yeah.
These don't make sense as criticisms. You're not bringing up anything.
If LEGO would be using the public as a constructive criticism group, this is not helping.
This is not helping. You're just saying, overpriced, too much money. Like, that can be its own criticism, yes. But that doesn't have to be every single criticism. And, like, so many of the criticisms are just the same case. It's okay that a couple people are doing that. But if you see 5 people in a row making that same exact critique, and you go and comment that same exact critique, what are you doing? Dude, I want to hear actual criticisms, and I want to hear the positive of this set. Nobody's talking about the positives. Y'all, this is a beautiful set. Even if you don't think it's worth the money, it's a beautiful set. I want to start seeing some positives on this. I want to start seeing people talk about this in a good way. And it's just annoying, because this is really just the embodiment of the modern LEGO Star Wars community.
Dual-molded Stormtrooper legs to the Hot Tub Stormtrooper. That's the good thing.
You're dual-molded. Oh wait, no, I literally said you weren't. That's gonna be cut out.
He agreed!
You're dual-molded.
I, Jedi Bob, have dual-molded legs.
Anyways, I personally believe the Death Star is a beautiful set, even though there are a few things wrong about that. But I feel like the community is handling this entirely wrong, and it shows just how nitpicky the LEGO Star Wars community is and how weird they are approaching things and giving bad criticisms, even when there are certain situations for that. So, it's a beautiful set, and I personally think I'm going to pick it up. But I think this is a really good example of what the LEGO Star Wars community is. Criticizing things, which is fine, but criticizing them in weird and unoriginal ways, and just continuously almost not feeling like a LEGO fan. Like, y'all, if you hate on every single set, can you call yourself a fan? It's fine if you hate every single set. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling you to love every single set. But why are you still following along if you just are going to hate every single aspect about it? I don't watch every M&R Productions video because I don't like the guy. Because, like, I'm not just going to hate watch every single one of his videos. Occasionally I'll see, like, a clip. And I'll be like, alright, bro. But, like, at the end of the day, if you don't like something, why interact with it? Why really give it your time? You can give good criticisms, but be unique about it. And really, I really just don't want to keep seeing the same thing with LEGO Star Wars critiques again and again. I understand there's some issues with overpricing. I understand there's all that. But, like, it's just weird because it's just a community of people who hate the actual products. Like, there are some good critiques and there are some sets that should be hated, but I don't think the Death Star is fully one of those. And there are some issues with it. And there are some things that you may not like about it.
There's always going to be issues with every LEGO set.
I mean, yeah, it's not absolutely perfect. But anyways, I truly do believe this is a beautiful set. I'm probably going to pick it up. This is a really cool Star Wars set. Despite what a lot of people have been saying, I really truly believe this is a beautiful Star Wars set, and I think this is totally worthy of being the new most expensive LEGO set. I mean, this is truly just a masterpiece. It's just a true masterpiece of LEGO. And I'm really happy to see this set being made as someone who, when I was younger, used to see the 2016 Death Star and just constantly want that, and really just dreamed of having a LEGO Death Star because it just has that wonder, and now I see that wonder kind of fulfilled, and it's really beautiful to see that. I'm cutting that out, dude. That has nothing to do with it.
Hello.
There's also the meeting room.
Jedi Bob Strikes Back.
Pretty sure Galen Ursa is his name. Let me double check before I sound stupid. I'm gonna freaking brick break you with my lightsaber, which I don't have. Anyways, you got a bit off guard. Let's talk about...
You got a bit off guard?
Huh?
You said you got a bit off guard.
Caught off guard.
Oh.
No, I mean off topic. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I even tried to defend that. Tried to parry that claim, dude. We got Gonk. You have a point.
Gronk.
Yes, that's what I was
Gonk.
referencing.
It rhymes with Gronk.
Get the grug out of here.
His IQ is lower than the set.
What? Bro, Jedi Bob really tried to do that. I don't even think that was on camera, but he just threw a Hamilton cup at me. You really threw away your shot like that, dude?
Sorry, Spooter Man. It was a box.
You're a box.
I mentioned the cheese wheel. Calling it a small moon.
And it's a truly beautiful set.
It's a truly beautiful set.